The pool of Drag Race queens keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and yet the All-Stars casting department keeps pulling from the pool of queens that we've already seen on All-Stars. I had a crazy idea to cast for All-Stars 11 today, but only using the pool of queens who have never been invited. And I created a fancy diagram right here. I did exclude the queens who are no longer with us, as well as some queens that I think are obviously problematic. There are some questions that I have because there's over 100 queens. I did not sit down and do extensive research before doing this video. I thought we would do that in the moment. So let's get into casting an All-Star season using queens who have never been on All-Stars before. So I made a pretty comprehensive list here of all the queens that haven't been on All-Stars, but first I want to eliminate all the people that I really don't think would ever be on there. And so let's go through these really fast. We've got Akasha. I don't mean any shade of disrespect, but is Akasha still with us? There's a Reddit thread from 11 years ago claiming that she's still working, but that was so long ago. Girl, let me see if she's on Instagram. I don't see any evidence that she is doing drag anymore, so I'm gonna eliminate her. What is Jade up to these days? I don't think that Jade or Rebecca Glasscock do drag anymore. Okay, from what I'm reading, it looks like Jade still does drag, but Rebecca has retired and just goes by their boy named Javier. He's very cute. Pork Chop is still going strong. That I am certain of. You do not keep a diva down like that. I know that Mystique is still doing things. She wanted to be in a bracket with Morgan. Carmen would probably never do Drag Race ever again. Delta is absolutely not getting asked by RuPaul or anybody in production to come and be on All Stars, even though I think that's a massive mistake. We're getting into the season 4s, which is kind of incredible how many queens have not been cast from this season. It's almost criminal. Elisa Summers, a queen for all seasons, just not this one, does seem to be alive, kicking, and performing in drag. So I think there's a possibility we could invite her. I don't think Kenya's doing drag anymore. Google says that she's a former drag queen, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove her from the list. I am almost 100% positive that LaShawn does not do drag anymore. I very recently saw Madame LaQueer performing, so I know that she's still doing stuff. Milan does not do drag anymore, I'm almost positive. The princess is still going, hell yeah. Willem would never be asked, but I mean, Willem has said that they would do it. I'm gonna leave them on the list just for the chaos. Ivy Winters does not do drag anymore. I'm pretty sure that I saw Lanesha was in jail. Penny still seems to be doing drag. I got to work with Vivian Panay many years ago at a former job. It was very light interaction. All of her coworkers all muttered the same thing to me whenever I would see them and she was on shift. They would say, don't talk to her about Drag Race. And I would always say, I wasn't going to. What is there to ask? We're moving into season 6 now, where I think Courtney would probably say yes, but I don't think casting would ask her. I think Jocelyn does drag very infrequently, but probably wouldn't say yes to an opportunity like Drag Race again, even though I would love to see Jocelyn. Actually, you know what? Let's keep her on the list. Laganja has already flat out said that Drag Race is too fast for her now and she just wouldn't do it. I'm gonna be real. Even if Magnolia Crawford still did do drag, I don't want her there. Moving to season 7, it's honestly a crime that half of these girls have not been cast. Candy Ho, I think, still does drag, but Max would quite literally never come back to Drag Race ever. I think they are in permanent hiding. Miss Fame is living her very best life in another country with her husband and family. She is never gonna do Drag Race again, and neither will Pearl. I love me some Frisbee Jenkins, but I am positive that they will not come back. Kim has said that she would maybe do it if the stars aligned correctly, so we'll leave her on the list. Robbie Turner, after murdering an Uber driver, went into hiding, so I don't think we'll ever see her in the universe of Drag Race ever. Dax has pretty much said F you to Drag Race and does not want to be associated with the show at all, wants to be forgotten that she was ever there. Nina Bonina Brown, I think the show would probably try to distance itself from her. From season 10, we will never see the Vixen on an All-Star season, like flat out. Not because I don't want to see them, but I think the Vixen's experience on Drag Race was so toxic that they would never want to go back. From season 11, isn't Ariel Versace like low-key kind of problematic? I don't want to start a rumor here or be a part of any drama. I'm gonna remove her from the list. Nikki, as a host of an entire franchise, there are 5 seasons under her belt now, I don't think she would risk coming back to Drag Race and potentially going home really early. From season 13, I think Elliot is way too much of a liability for the show to even consider bringing her back. Tamisha Iman is coming for you, but does not want to come to Drag Race. She has talked so much about the show in such a negative way, they would literally never let her come back. But the chaos that Tamisha would bring, I would like to see. From season 15, I think that Marcia had such a bad experience that she would never say yes to Drag Race even if they gave her tons of money. She got ripped apart by the show and by the fans, embarrassed multiple times through the edit. I would not want to go back to a show that was so unkind to me. But I want to say I think Marcia's a star and deserves a crown on her head from somewhere. So those are all the queens that I think would not be invited / would not say yes. Now I want to eliminate all the queens that I just don't want to see on All Stars because this is my fantasy casting. And no, I'm not going to be messy enough to share why. Dahlia. I just realized there were 2 people I did not put on this list, but it's okay because they would have been cut here at this point anyway. We're gonna move on. Oh, Princess Poppy also would probably never do Drag Race. I don't know why I left her on this list. Also, I would like to forget the Ella. Okay, so that brings us now to our comprehensive list of people who I would love to see on the show that I do think would maybe say yes. So I've got my 3 brackets, Jade, Ruby, Sapphire, that I'm casting for 6 queens in each one. I'm gonna go through and just grab a bunch of queens that I would like to see and then try and redistribute them as I think would match each other's energy, would match what the show needs, match what the bracket needs, and also just what I would expect for the formula of an All-Stars. I definitely want to see Pork Chop somewhere in the Drag Race universe again. I think Mystique is a great time. I love Stacey Lane Matthews, and I think the fandom does as well. I think an All-Stars season, if they got a stipend, would be very beneficial to her. High-key, I'm very interested in Elisa Summers, a Queen for All Seasons, just not this one. I have been such a champion of Dita Ritz coming back for All-Stars for years, and I don't understand why we haven't seen her yet. I love Madame LaQueer and that weird Russian accent she did during that acting challenge, so I high-key would like to see her back somewhere. April Carrion is someone who should have been back years ago on All Stars, so I definitely want to see her somewhere. Jocelyn Fox is my queen. I quote "Kamen" all the time because, I mean, she's a walking soundbite, and while I don't think she would ever say yes, I want her on Drag Race. Jade Dior Fierce is one of the best performers that's ever been on the show, and I think definitely deserves another shot. Plus, she kind of represents this old school version of drag meets this new school that I think is really interesting. She's funny, she's campy, she doesn't take herself seriously, she's a great time. Asia O'Hara is another one that I absolutely feel like earned a crown her season and just lost it because of a mistake in the finale. She deserves a redemption. I know that people have their feelings about Miss Sugarcane, but I'm obsessed with honey, 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 honey. I love Jackie Cox. I feel like she was snubbed of getting to the finale where she justifiably should have been since they had that disqualification. I would love to see Jackie come back for an All-Stars and get her flowers. I just watched an episode of All-Stars 8 and Jasmine Kennedy was the lip sync assassin, and it just reminded me how much I loved her on season 14, so I would like to see her come back. Lady Camden is someone who deserved a crown her time around just as much as Willow did. I 100% want to see Camden come back. Megami's been showing up on my FYP a lot lately, and it's really making me like her. I think her edit on Drag Race just didn't give me a good idea of who she was, so I wasn't able to connect with her, I think, in the same way that I am now. And I would love to see what her growth is, especially knowing how much work that she has done since her season finished. Seems like she's been really going, and I mean, we've got to protect queer art. Mirage is someone that you gotta ask, did you get the tea on that Kunt? Because she is the moment, and I was really bummed to see her go out as early as she did in her season. I think that a lot of people would love to see Mirage come back, and I'm one of those people. I cannot tell you what it is, but I was so obsessed with Lana by the time that she was on her way out. I think that moment when she said, he asked me if the bus was still running, but I was supposed to ask if the bus was still running. I think there was just something in that moment that clicked for me with her, and I'm obsessed with this diva. And All Stars needs some drama, so I'm gonna add 2 queens into here that I think would bring that. We need someone to let loose in here. And there's something about those theater kids. I feel like they bring a chaotic energy to Drag Race. I'm gonna put Rosé in here as well. Actually, you know what? I want someone that's gonna bring drama. I want chaos. For another person to bring drama, I don't think I want to bring Plain in. I think Arietti is drama, but I don't think I want to see her necessarily. I really want to put Willem on here for shits and giggles, even though I know that this would never happen. I'm gonna do it, and no one can stop me. I'm gonna throw in Kelly Mantle, and I think I'm also very interested in the nonsense that Yuhua would bring after her wacky run on Slasian Royale. So now I want to try and bring this down to 6 because I have one extra queen in each group and I want to see what the synergy would be like and if I need to move anyone. Pork Chop needs to be in the very first group. People have been waiting so long to see Pork Chop come back after being the first eliminated. She's got this huge legacy behind her. I don't want her to get steamrolled by people like Asia. I want her to get her own fair shot. So I'm gonna stick Asia in group number 2. I think that both Pork Chop and April have the same amount of weight behind them of fans expecting them to come back and not having seen them, sort of in the same vein as like a Nangina in season 5. But I don't know if either one of their energies gel with someone like Jaden. So I'm gonna shuffle Jaden to the second group as well. I need someone to bring chaos to that first group and someone who I think would have synergy with both of them because she is an older queen and has an older sensibility. I'm gonna put Kelly Mantle. Kelly's almost the Nicole of this group. Like, I'm not expecting her to win, but I still wanna see her. And I think Sugarcane has the right vibe to gel with all 3 of them. So she's definitely remaining in this group. I'm just trying to determine if Jackie and Jasmine both have the right vibe for this group. I'm leaning yes towards Jackie. Jasmine's the one I have a little bit of a question mark on, and I kind of want to replicate some of that manic energy that Orange group had, so I'm gonna make a controversial move here and stick Yuhua here. And I'm gonna be so real with y'all, I don't know who of this group would move on to the next round. Rumors are that season 11 is only bringing 2 people from bracket 1 to bracket 2, so I would anticipate that those people would probably be Jackie and either Pork Chop or Suga. So now let's work on Ruby bracket, where I'm assuming that there's probably going to be a lot more performance-based challenges, similar to what we saw with the pink bracket. I think that Jaden and Asia make sense with Jasmine for this group. Performance-wise, I feel like Megami makes sense with this bunch. She's a strong lyricist, so if they needed to write anything, I think that she would excel in those kind of challenges. She's a great performer, and she's got a repertoire of looks that I think would work for some of the kind of more interesting categories that the pink bracket got, where orange bracket received few more low-key categories. Because it's such a strong performance-based group, there's gotta be someone that can kind of temper that energy and almost be the straight man to the group. That person, I would say, is probably Lana. And then, purely for the chaos, because Mistress was in the second group, I'm gonna leave Lucy here. From this bunch, I would anticipate that the people moving on to the next round would for sure beat Asia. And I think it could honestly go between Jasmine or Megami. And now it's time to tackle the very last group, Sapphire, and determine who's getting the pork chop. So this group, I want to be the ones that everyone's been waiting for. I want that excitement that people had for Denali and Acid Betty, but not having a very clear Ginger Minge in this group. As much as I love my Queen Stacy, I don't see her saying yes to a Drag Race opportunity unless it was a lot of money, and I don't think the All-Stars brackets pay out as much as a regular mainline All-Star season. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give Stacy the pork chop now, but I love you, Stacy. This is hard because I love this entire bunch. The chaos of Willem being here is too juicy to pass up, but she's not going to ever be invited. I want to be slightly realistic here and remove Willem from the group. And I can do some refinement here. I think that Mystique is someone that a lot of people have been waiting to see her come back. I think people would be just as enthusiastic about seeing Mystique as they were about Acid. I think people would feel the same way about Dita. I think people would look at Elisa Summers and ask, who is that? And there's something exciting about that to me. Jocelyn is also very unlikely to say yes, so I'm tempted to just remove her from this bunch, even though I think that Jocelyn should probably win this whole thing by just walking in the doors. I sadly am going to chop Jocelyn. And so I think this gives a good mix of early outs, but then there's Lady Camden and Dita who made it so far in their seasons. I'm now tempted to swap Lady Camden with someone in group 1, maybe somebody who went home a little bit earlier, just to kind of give a little bit of fairness. Like, Porkchop has been in the game for so long, Kelly Mantle has been in the game for so long, it doesn't matter, they were early outs. They have a long career behind them that can help them stand up to people that are in this group. Yuhua is someone who just got off of Slation, so she's a little more accustomed to what Drag Race is asking for now. So I think leaving her in the first group with kind of heavier hitters, I don't think she would suffer that much. I'm gonna swap April and Lady Camden with each other because I think they've got kind of fairly similar dispositions. Dita was off the show so long ago that even though she went very far in her season, I don't feel as strange leaving her in this group because I feel like she's not at a massive advantage like someone like Camden, who was just on the show not that long ago. And Mirage being on the show very recently, but having gone home so early, I think she kind of falls in that sauce of the early outs of you could really go any direction even though you were on more recently. And so I think this group is a lot more balanced now with Camden being swapped out, because Camden seems like the very obvious ginger minge of that group, and that imbalance really frustrated me with Purple group. So I feel very confident with this list. I think if I were to maybe adjust it at all, I would maybe swap someone like Lucy with someone even more chaotic like Plain Jane, but I would like to let All Stars 11 be free of some of the trickery that would be brought by someone like Plain. And these are contestants that I would like to see exponentially more. Exponentially! So confirming, for Jade bracket, we have Porkchop, Lady Camden, Kelly Mantle, Sugar Cane, Jackie Cox, and Yuhua Hamasaki. Oh, nope, just Yuhua now. Ruby bracket, I have Asia O'Hara, Jaden Dior Fierce, Jasmine Kennedy, Megami, Lana Jiray, and Lucy LaDuca. For Sapphire bracket, I have chosen Mystique Summers Madison, April Carrion, Dita Ritz, Elisa Summers, Madame LaQueer, and Mirage. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was very fun to construct a season based off of people that have never been on the show before, and I really hope that casting stops asking back people that have already done All Stars once, twice, or even 3 times. While I think that there is something about pageantry that always calls back people, and people go back until they win, I really want to see one season where nobody is a returner from a past season. The only one I will give a pass to is like Nina Flowers or Tammy Brown from All Stars 1, because that was so long ago and All Stars 1 was a show. Who is it that you would like to see from the list of queens that have never been on the show before for the next All Stars season, whether that be bracketed again or a regular All Stars? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see y'all on the flip.